Hello everybody, Road Warriors 627 back here with another Thoroughbred Racing preview. Today we're going to talk about the 2019, the 144th Preakness Stakes, the second jewel of the Triple Crown. So I believe our discussion of the Preakness cannot begin without a quick discussion of the Derby, where Maximum Security, who crossed the line first, was DQ'd and placed 17th behind Long Range Toddy, who was the least placed horse. He finished 17th of the horses that he bothered on the far turn at the 5/16 pole. And if you know anything about me, you know that I feel that disqualifications should happen more often, that they hardly do ever here in New York unless they're egregious. And this was absolutely the right call. He drifted out 5 paths on the far turn, if you look at the tower camera at the quarter pole, and severely impeded the path of the 1 War Will, the 18 Bodie Express, the 18 Long Range Toddy, and the 21 Bodie Express. Bodie Express and War of Will coming back in this Preakness. There's no question he should have been disqualified, and the stewards, surprisingly to me, made the right call. Let's get on to the Preakness now. Unlike the Derby, I'm not going to go through every horse in the field. I'm just going to give my overall thoughts about how the race is going to set up and who I'm going to take. Post positions were drawn today. I'm recording this on Wednesday night. So let's talk about the pace. To me, there are 5 horses, based on their past performances and connections, that are probably going to go out towards the early lead. Those being Always Mining, Another Twist of Fate, Market King, and Warrior's Charge. And these horses are scattered throughout the starting gate as far as their post position is concerned. So it's going to be quite a mad dash in the first 3/16 of a mile. You've also got Mike Smith, and now Improbable hasn't been a horse that's been on the lead in any of his starts really, but it's Mike Smith, and he might decide to be aggressive. Mike Smith gets aggressive out of the blue many times. Just look at what he did in the Gotham with that Baffert shipper, Much Better, who is still racing in New York, as a matter of fact. So I believe this is going to set up a pretty quick early pace. I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at about 22-2 for the first quarter of a mile, and about 46 flat, maybe even faster. 45-4, 45-3 is not even out of the question to me for the first half of a mile. Now, Pimlico tends to be a slower track than Churchill, regardless of the surface, whether it's fast, sloppy, muddy, good, whatever. But with all the speed in this race, I would not be surprised if the pace is lightning fast. If the pace is slower than, I would say, 47-2, then my horses probably have no chance in this race, based on where they're probably going to be. I want closers in this race. I want horses that could pick up pieces. With that being said, I'm going with Mark Hennig's Bourbon War number 2. I would love to see Mark Hennig finally get some national recognition for the great trainer that he is here in New York. He's 12-1 on the morning line. He's definitely going to be closing in this race. He hasn't raced since the Florida Derby, and his speed figures don't really have him in competition with the rest of the field. But he had a good workout last time out, and even though he didn't run that fast, this race, like I said, could set up for a closer, very much like Cloud Computing 2 years ago, the last Preakness winner that I picked. Picked Bravazzo last year, missed by a half a length. Second, I will have number 4, Improbable, your morning line favorite at 5-2 on the line. Baffert's big horse in this race, Baffert's only horse in this race. First and second throughout his career, except for the Derby, couple nice figs. I see him being mid-pack but closer. This field came up with 13 horses, so I said that 5 horses would probably be up near the lead. So I see him in about 5th or 6th early on, but like I said, Mike Smith could do whatever he wants. If he's a little bit closer, I think that might hurt him, but probably not, because if he is closer, it's probably because the pace is slower than what I expect. So that'll leave it all up to Mike Smith. I'm simply trying to beat Improbable. I think he is the best horse in the race. Third, I'm going to try a big long shot, number 8, Signal Man. He's been kind of a fan favorite. He's trained by Kenny McPeak. He's got a couple of figs that could make him competitive in this field, and once again, a deep closer. I want him closing down on the far outside as they come down the stretch, picking off the tired horses that were on the lead. And fourth, I'm going to go with one of the speed horses that could possibly hold on for fourth, and that's Blaine Wright. I believe his first Triple Crown starter. His horse, Another Twist of Fate. 6-1 on the line. Jose Ortiz is in the irons. I believe he can hold the speed better than anybody else of the horses that are going to the front, and that's mainly because of his Sunland Derby. It was very impressive how he went out in fast fractions and still managed to hold on to be second. Let's look at the fractions quickly for that race. We have 45 and 3, 109 and 3, 134 and 3, and he held on for second only to get beaten in neck with a 98 speed figure. That is very impressive. And 6-1 clinking up for fourth. I don't really care about the odds in that scenario. I'm not planning on betting supers, although I believe because of the field depth, you can definitely get a nice super in this race, especially with the fact that the top horses in this race, for instance, War of Will, I'm not really a big fan of him in this spot. Everybody's going to be talking about him because of how he got shut off in the Derby, and he absolutely did. But I'm not taking 4-1 on a horse that's had a couple of other clunkers in his career as well. So for that reason, I'm going to stick with closers, and I'm going to stick with horses with better value and that have proven themselves more consistent over their careers, especially recently in their 3-year-old years. To be quite honest with you guys, and this is just a side note, I actually really think that Friday's card, because I saw Friday and Saturday's card at Pimlico, Friday's card is better than Saturday's card. There's deep fields all day long, so if you want to really focus your attention on one card, try to get some long shots, I would try to play the Friday card more, to be honest with you. This Preakness is very interesting. Obviously, you're lacking Country House, the official winner of the Kentucky Derby. Maximum Security, who finished first. They both are dealing with ailments. And it doesn't seem like we're going to see him in the Belmont either. But hopefully we see him later throughout the year. Maybe the Dwyer, the Haskell, the Travers, of course, up at Saratoga. Or maybe stepping up to face older horses, which would be very nice to see as well. With that being said, everybody, it is 2, 4, 8, 12 for me in the Preakness. And we'll be back with another video in a little under 3 weeks, and possibly more than one video. I might do a video for each day of the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival, analyzing select races from each day, as that weekend is going to be spectacular. But first, enjoy the Preakness, 3 to 5 NBCSN, 5 to 7:15 NBC, your less than pleasing TV coverage, there it is. And remember, pay your bills first. Enjoy the Preakness, everyone.